I'm gonna turn this over to Jack to get it all in order.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This ordinance was on the agenda at the last meeting, at the April 20th meeting. And at the time, I had ruled on behalf of the board that a two-thirds majority was needed on passage. Based on I think the ballot questioning of that by Supervisor Keckeisen, and I think overall due diligence on behalf of the county, I revisited that issue. It was with the assistance of the Wisconsin Counties Association and their legal counsel. Based on their opinion, the standing rule of simple majority vote of this board on an ordinance and a matter on this is what rules. A motion to reconsider is not necessary. The matter can come up simply under a renewal or a refreshment, and thereby it was requested that it be put back on the agenda. For those of you that like to look at statutes and that sort of thing, references applicable here in section 59.02, parent 2, Wisconsin statutes, resolutions may be enacted by majority vote of quorum. Whereby a larger vote is required by law, 59.02, subsection 3, a majority of supervisors who are entitled to a seat on the board shall constitute a quorum. All questions shall be determined by a majority of the supervisors who are present unless otherwise provided. What I did is I looked for the unless otherwise provided. You're all aware that we have two-thirds supermajority required in a couple of areas. One is on changing the budget items. The other is a changing of amendments to the county board rules. We also adopt the Robert's Rules of Order. So when we were silent on this issue and the Robert's Rules were indicating to me the possibility of a supermajority, at least for some language that referenced elective offices, I erred on the side of conservatism in requiring that two-thirds. That appears not to be the case. I understand that and agree with it. So therefore, under the category of new information of a substantial nature, and that would be the category of the voting, the very voting requirement, simple majority versus a supermajority, it's able to be brought back. Okay, so a formal motion for consider is not required. You're also not bound and required to even discuss it again. However, if you do, I believe the chair would simply entertain a motion to either refresh or renew our discussion and then take right back off again and have your discussion and revote the matter.
Is there anyone wishing to have discussion here?
I like to have a discussion again.
Go ahead.
I guess initially when I looked at it, I wasn't quite opposed to it, but I had a lot of questions. In the last 2 weeks, looked into it. The one thing that just bugged me was that we were putting the cart ahead of the horse, and it looks like we were going with a contract already. So I guess I would like to make an amendment to it to appoint a multi-interest committee to look into the direction of a medical examiner under now therefore be resolved. So I would like someone to entertain that.
You're putting that as a motion?
Correct.
Do I have a second? Any other discussion? Go ahead.
I just have a question. The way this ordinance is, that we have before us, this is just to say yes or no if we want to have a medical examiner. It's not contracting with anybody, correct?
Not at this time, no.
And that is correct, Supervisor Sumter. It's simply in timing-wise, this is the last opportunity as the calendar falls due to the county clerk's requirements under the taking out of papers and voting. But no, it's as it states, simply to abolish one system and to go with the new appointing system of the medical exam.
Because I'd like to, have, as Patrick said, have a committee and investigate other areas, because basically I wouldn't want to build a house and only get one contractor to bid on it. that would kind of cluster.
We had
things.
two when we first originally
Okay.
started.
But also do some research as to what it would cost to actually start from scratch in our own counties without contracting.
Like we said, you know, if this ordinance passes, we have 6 months to create that. Yes, ma'am.
So I take it that we would be putting together an ad hoc committee on this, am I correct?
That is the request, yes.
I would request that on that ad hoc committee, all law enforcement, if they can make the meetings, be involved. Will there be any citizens on this committee?
I would assume there should be. Anything else, ma'am?
Would it be wrong to ask if Jake Roseberry, would that be a conflict of interest?
I feel it would be.
All right, thank you.
Well, I guess part of my multi-interest statement was actually having someone, maybe not directly Jake Roseberry, but someone like that, who can add other aspects into it. Not just PS&J, not just the sheriff's department, you know, truly multi-interest groups. So, you know, my suggestion was gonna be a county board rep, preferably one of the PS&J, the sheriff, any other representation from the sheriff's department, the current coroner, and a member at large, citizen member at large appointed. So that was where I was hoping to have multi-interest, just at that point.
Yes, ma'am.
I hate to say this, but if we don't involve the district attorney's office, I think we'll hear about that, so somehow we have to get somebody from his office involved.
Yes,
Thank you, Al. If I recall right, this came up about in 2007, when John and you and I were on the committee. I say if we get an ad hoc committee, we move swiftly on this. I mean, it's been long enough we've been kicking this around. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Yes, Jake.
I was just curious, I know at one time we had a discussion on a resolution where we set the coroner's salary before the latest coroner's term. And if we're talking cost, was maybe opinion from Jack, I guess, is if we did a new resolution, if it would be possible to set the coroner's yearly salary as, so that it couldn't go over budget, whatever we said.
If I can respond to that just by making reference back to the ordinance, I think Supervisor Reiner that in paragraph 2, the compensation of fees to be paid to the medical examiner shall be set forth as provided in with stats 59.34 and 59.38. And while just a citation to those sections doesn't do you much good, basically the language in there is pretty doggone broad in terms of your authority to set such a salary and fees. So you set the expertise requirements, you set the fees, and that sort of thing, be it an in-house medical examiner system or one that would be contemplated to be farmed out, whatever that may be.
Jack, I wasn't referring to the medical examiner, I was referring to the coroner.
If the ordinance doesn't pass, then at the May meeting, the salaries and per diems or wages for all of the constitutional officers that are coming up for this election will be before the county board. That would be the sheriff, the clerk of the courts, and then if you stay with the coroner system, then that coroner resolution would be before you as well. And that's when you would determine then, based on what's presented to you and how you would like to see that.
Would it be possible, as Mike has stated several times, to actually develop a resolution to the point where we would
set a wage versus
set
a
a
per
wage
diem.
for the coroner, that, a yearly wage that would be
Yes.
consistent with the
Yes,
budget.
and Marcia and I have been, talking about this, and Marcia's doing some research on that with other counties that have the coroner system.
Well, in my singular opinion, I think it goes beyond the coroner's wage setting or the maintaining of having a coroner's office and assistant coroners. My main reason for being strongly in favor of the ME method is liability. And right now, we don't have an adequate chain of custody. Our officers do not have the 640 hours of training that they would have to become MEs. It just seems that we're stepping into a more sophisticated, less liable atmosphere by entertaining the ME program. So whether this vote today, in my opinion, was to just establish that we were gonna go to an ME. And I don't have any problem with Patrick's recommendation about an ad hoc, but we do have to hop on that because within 6 months we have to do something. But I just wanted to abolish the coroner system.
Yes, sir.
Amendment to the just be read out. Yes,
Well, I have one question, because, I mean, do you name 4 positions? You don't want it to be even, you want it to be odd.
I would like to be 5. Those are the positions, excuse me, those are the minimum positions I would see.
Go ahead.
I guess consisting of 5 members to include county board from PS&J, current coroner, the sheriff, the DA, and member at large, or DA, or representative of, I guess should be stated.
So you want to form a multi-interest ad hoc committee to consist of 1 county rep from the PS&J, the sheriff, the current coroner, a citizen member at large, and a representative of the DA's office to look into this. And you want that under, now therefore be it resolved?
Correct.
But that's gonna be where it's gonna have to be added, and I have to draft some appropriate language, probably as a new number 3 in that section.
That answer your question? Anyone else? Okay, now we're gonna vote on the amendment first. So please vote on that.
Yes, 1 no, voting no, Kedlowski, excused, Griffin, and
The amendment passes. Now we'll vote on the ordinance as amended. Please vote.
yes, 2 no, Renner and Stucklack, excused, Griffin and Wissatar.
The ordinance passes. Okay, at this time, we'll have North Central Regional Planning Commission presentation.